and welcome along to day 4 here at the 2023 UCI Cycling World Championships. I'm Rebecca Charlton, and once again we are stationed right in the heart of Glasgow Green. As we speak, the elite men's road race is taking place, and it's always such a popular one here at the World Championships. Last year it was Remco Evenepoel that took a stunning victory in Wollongong. Let's remind ourselves of that moment now. Well, who's going to take the big victory here in Glasgow? We'll find out, of course, later on today. Another highly popular event here at the World Championships takes place right here in Glasgow Green and is, of course, the BMX freestyle. Yesterday, things kicked off for the men with the rounds of qualification. Let's have a word now from Jeffrey Wally.
I'm really happy to be here in Glasgow to represent Canada. We had only one spot for Canadians. I'm super happy to be here to represent my country. I was expecting a bit of better weather, but you know, it's Glasgow, so it's kind of raining. We have to deal with it, but I'm super happy to be here. It's my first time in UK, so it's great. I've been wanting to come here for quite a while. And actually, my grandfather moved to Canada from Ireland, so I'm almost close to homes, you know, so I'm pretty happy to be here. I think everyone is really happy to be here in Glasgow. I had a great energy from the crowd this morning, and it was only qualifying, so I'm excited for the next couple of days coming up, because I feel like the crowd's gonna go crazy. That's only qualification, and we're gonna have a lot more throughout the weekend. So yeah, I think it's a good vibe. Everyone's happy to be here. It's a World Championship, the biggest event of the year, so it's a good time for sure. The hardest thing for me is to understand the English, because I thought I had good English because my main language is French. I've been learning English, but here I've been trying so hard to understand everyone, but it's the accent is a little hard to get, but I like it. It sounds so cool. I watch one of my favorite TV shows, Peaky Blinder, so I kind of have that kind of vibe here, and it's super cool.
Well, the events are coming through thick and fast now. It is all happening here at the World Championships, and here in this very studio live now to dissect all the action with me is ex-GB rider and now coach Jonathan Mitchell. Welcome.
Hello, how are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. It's absolutely buzzing, but also the sunshine is out here in Scotland.
It's always sunny in Glasgow. You know, we get a bad reputation, but I wouldn't guarantee it, but I can guarantee we can have pure sunshine the rest of the championships.
Oh, brilliant. Well, it's great to have you. And I just want to kick off with a reflection on the track at the Circus Velodrome last night and the women's team pursuit. Yeah. I've been trying not to be biased, but the performance of the GB women's squad last night was just spectacular. And of course, all the way through qualification rounds.
Yeah. I mean, it was just such a good, just so great for track cycling to see such an amazing event. You know, the home crowd behind the GB team. You know, they pulled such great turns. You know, Josie Knight in the last kilometre, she really pulled the team home. An amazing race, and all credit to the New Zealand team. They were second. They've been amazing this year. They've been the fastest team in the world. Came to home worlds for GB. They stepped up, and all the girls in that team rode so well. It's so great to see. It
was brilliant to see, and there's a couple of really big talking points in that success, isn't there, as well? Not only is this the first time for a little while that they've gone and taken that victory, and I think we got very used to seeing it, didn't we? I mean, for you as well, among the GB squad, you get very used to the winning ways, and actually, I think sometimes from the outside, people start to think it's easy for you.
Yeah, well, it's funny, I think, because the GB women's team, they've won Europeans, they've won Olympics, they've won every competition there is to win, apart from Worlds, since 2014, and yeah, they've had that high standard all the way through, and it's so great to see that happen again. But yeah, it's an easier thing, as you say. It's easy to think, well, they'll just go to a race and win, but to do that in front of a home crowd, fully behind them, so brilliant.
And that huge turn from Katie Archibald, she's just phenomenal.
Yeah. I mean, with Katie, you see just the, we all know Katie's story. She spoke a lot about that. But for her, I've trained with Katie on Glasgow. We kind of grew up racing in the city on this track. So to see her do that, she always talks how much she loves racing in front in Glasgow. Yeah, just brilliant. What else can you say? Just so good for her.
So good to see her up there on that podium was just such a special moment. Another special moment, the Barker sisters taking a world championship together.
I think that is our first sister pairing of a world title in the same team. But even Eleanor as well. Eleanor's just came back, but she's had a child in the last 18 months. Her son Nico was born. So to step back in, that's her first time back in the team pursuit since the Tokyo Olympics, and she rode really strongly. Brilliant from her as well. Yeah,
I mean, Eleanor and I were pregnant at the same time, and so I do keep saying I've just had a baby. That's definitely my excuse at the moment.
Yeah.
So no excuses from her. I mean, that's a quick comeback. It was brilliant to see. Of course, there was plenty more action, but I think for me that was probably the most emotional part of the night.
Yeah. No, it was so good, and even just across the whole span of racing as well. But team pursuit, just the last race of the night as well, to finish the crowd, and even actually I went to the podium ceremony after it. And it was just so many people stuck around to see it. So that was just a brilliant moment to see as well.
And there's plenty more action coming up on the track, isn't it? It's not over yet.
Yeah, still got a few more days to come. We've got Men's Omnium today as well, which is going to be some brilliant events. We've got it's just so much racing, so many para events. So great to see them racing, and massive crowds. We always talk about the crowds, but they were just so good. Some of the celebrations. Sam Ruddock, he won the kilo last night. I think if anyone wants to check that video out, the way he absolutely loved it. I lost it when he won. So yeah, that was amazing. Dane's team pursuit, but we've got the full men's sprint tournament, women's keirin coming up today. It's going to be good.
It's going to be so good. This is the first time we've seen 13 cycling events come together in one massive championships. For you, as a local rider, ex-pro, and this is huge for the sport, isn't it?
Yeah, it's I run a club in Glasgow, Glasgow Track Racing Club. I run a podcast here. The influence that this will have, just being able to have a world champs here. I've engaged so many local businesses, to even just helping out nations with laundry, just even so many little things like that. It's been brilliant, and for me, just so much. This is the track I grew up riding. So to be in the room with all that happening, it's just been, I'll be honest, it's been really emotional actually at times. In a few moments you have to touch yourself, you feel those goosebumps of just like, this is happening, this is here. And these are people, even for riders like Katie Archibald, like Jack Carlin, Finn Graham, for so many of them, they know half the crowd. It was like when Jack was racing yesterday, like they almost got the boy for Paisley, and and the crowd are going for it, the crowd are responding. So yeah, loved it, so good.
And we had such a stunning night of action in the Velodrome, over at the Sir Chris Hoy Velodrome, of course, someone you know very well. For me, the most sort of pinnacle moment, I guess, was the closure of the night, the final for the women's team pursuit.
Yeah, that was just such a good race. Just to see, we spoke about, having like the New Zealand team, they were one of the best teams in the world for the entire year. To come there, GB then step up, home crowd. Such an amazing, just spectacle as well for fans, for the riders, for coaches, just to see that. So brilliant.
Jonathan, thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you very much for having me.
Well, our roving reporter Jess Rogers has once again quite literally been out in the field, this time at a very wet and muddy Fort William. She's been among the fans in the pits. Let's hear from her now.
You're watching Squiggly Bike TV. I'm Jess, and we are here in Fort William, the home of mountain biking, for the elite men's and women's final. It's set to be a bit wet, but undoubtedly pretty wild. Here is where it's all happening. You can see the finish line behind me. That's where the riders will come through. And behind the camera is all the amazing people who are here, come rain or shine, supporting today. God, look at them over there. So here in the event village, there is so much great stuff going on. Here is all the expo stuff. You've got loads of brands like showing off their products. And over that way, you have got the pits where all of the teams are set up, the mechanics, they sort out all the bikes and the riders rest between sessions. And then you've also got the likes of the drop and roll going on. It's just all happening. It's such a great place to be. One word to describe mountain biking.
Awesome.
I'm on TV! I found some more people who are not taking any risks when it comes to the midgies. How are the nets? I'm actually on the World Championship track right now. We've got a little break in the action between the women's and the men's, and I have to say, this track looks absolutely gnarly. What makes mountain biking better than, you know, all the other cycling events?
Ooh, the adrenaline, the danger.
If these riders just put one wheel wrong, it could be the difference between elation and devastation. Safe to say, the weather has turned here in Fort William. It really is raining, makes the racing harder, but the fans are still out in full force, that's for sure. One athlete I want to talk about is Rachel Atherton, absolute British sweetheart. She got injured during practice. That was hard there. She injured her shoulder, she dislocated it, but not only that, she's a superwoman because she's only recently had a baby, and wow, just next level. These athletes really are something else. There's always a World Cup round held here in Fort William, but not always a World Championships, which is why this is so important and why it means so much, because everyone wants that rainbow jersey.
Absolutely amazing.
Unreal scenes here. We've got a British male world champion in the form of Charlie Hatton. You've been watching Squiggly Bike TV. It's been wet, it's been wild, it's been mountain biking at Fort William. Woo!
Thanks, Jess. We hope very much here in the dry studio that you've got a cup of tea, you've dried off a bit. Brilliant to hear from Jess out in the field. If you see her throughout the course of the week, do go over and give her a hello. And talking of getting involved, saying hello, please do give us a follow over on social media, on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, maybe even a TikTok dance. We want to see it. And you need to use the hashtag Glasgow Scotland 2023 so we can share the best of your social media posts. We absolutely love it. Now, if you do give us a follow, which indeed you will, this is the kind of heartwarming content you can expect. James is 80 years old from the USA, and he had the ambition of coming to this World Championships, taking part in the Gran Fondo and maybe getting a podium spot. He only went and took the victory. He took a gold medal. This is how much it meant.
I am 80 years old from Williamsburg, Virginia, USA. Why am I here? Hopefully to win a medal.
James McDonald.
I'm so grateful for my family, for supporting me, for all the people who helped me learn how to ride a bike, and finally at age 80, finally win a pretty nice race. So yeah, I'm pretty excited.
Winning is always great, but doing it when you least expect it is even better. Look at this incredible finish of the paracycling track women's C4 scratch race.
But it's Switzerland that leads into the final bend. Mathilde Dorig will come through to get gold, but only just, really tight. Gold medal going to China. And she didn't realise.
Champion and winner of the gold medal,
Li Xiaohui. We see a lot of winning, but here we witness Matthew Glazer digging so deep in the warm-up. It certainly looks a little bit intense. Well, athletes, of course, all warm up in different ways. Here's some of the stars of track cycling getting pumped up for big competition. Take a look.
I'm in my bag, my bag, my bag, my bag, got my eyes on the price. You know I can waste no time, cause I gotta keep it tight. I'm in my bag, my bag, my bag, my bag, got my eyes on the price. You know I can waste no time, cause I gotta keep it tight. I'm in my bag, my bag, my bag, my bag, got my eyes on the price. You know I can waste no time, cause I gotta keep it tight. Give me the bass, give me the beat. I'm in my bag, this runners on me. Give me the bass, give me the beat. I'm in my bag, this runners on me. Give me the bass, give me the beat. I'm in my bag, this runners on me.
Well, if all of that has not got you excited yet, then maybe this will. Become the best player on the prediction game here at the 2023 UCI Cycling World Championship, powered by Tissot, and be in with a chance of winning a fantastic prize of a Tissot watch. All you need to do to start playing is head over right now to www.myworldofcycling.com. Now, yesterday was a very special day indeed for Albert Philipsen of Denmark. He took victory in the junior men's road race. Let's hear from him now.
It feels amazing. It's a bit hard to imagine. I've been working towards this goal for such a long time, so yeah, it's going to take a bit of time to realize what I've achieved here. I have the mountain bike race on the 10th, so in 5 days, so that's the next big goal.
A brilliant moment for that young rider, and he came in with so much conviction and confidence to cross the line solo. It was absolutely brilliant to be on the roadside yesterday witnessing that. Another brilliant day was had by Valentina Hull over at Fort William. The wet, windy, very muddy conditions did not hold her back, and she took yet another UCI World Championship title.
Oh, it's amazing. I was really scared to lose them, and the run was overall really, really good. It's just like I messed up big time before the pedaling section, and I knew it's going to be over, and somehow I caught back up and could bring it home safe. It's amazing. Like, I tried, as soon as I was jumping over the Scotland Arch, I was like trying to see the number board to see if I'm green or back on. Yeah, to come down and win and then just look around and be world champion again is amazing.
A brilliant moment there for Valentina Hull, and it has been so brilliant to get in and among the riders, getting that insight, getting that raw reaction and emotion here at the World Championships. There is plenty more coming up today, all over Scotland, here in the heart of Glasgow. Let's take a look now at the schedule of events. Here's what's happening today. The action has kicked off around Scotland already today with the BMX Racing Challenge event in Glasgow BMX Centre. This event is live worldwide on this very same channel from 9 AM BST. We also have the mountain bike marathon down in Tweed Valley. Track and paracycling also continues today over at the Circus Hoy Velodrome. Don't forget you can join in on the atmosphere by attending the Go Live fan zone at George Square from 4:35 BST. Well, it's going to be an absolutely action-packed day. You can hear it's all happening once again behind me here in the wonderful hub of BMX Freestyle at Glasgow Green. It's happening over on the road as well. Get involved, at the very least join us at the same time, same place tomorrow for much more action here at the UCI Cycling World Championships. See you then.